Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. We've had over a week straight of red pills in this crypto market. Are you overdosed yet? I'm not. I've been keeping my Patreon supporters updated with all the altcoins I've been accumulating lately, and our mastermind community has been working together to keep each other calm and focused on the big picture. It's amazing to see everyone support each other during this crypto bloodbath. You guys are the best. So if you're part of our mastermind community and you're watching this video, just sending you all the love and looking forward to the remainder of this bull run together. And just remember, the worst days in the market are just contrast for better days. It's the yin yang, not only the dark and the light, but the dark within the light. And I think in 6 months, we'll all be looking back at days like this and just smiling and laughing at all the chaos that was surrounding us, just like in this picture. It's fine. So today I'll be doing a quick analysis video on Bitcoin, XRP, and the altcoin market as a whole. And we reached 10,000 subscribers on this channel. I appreciate every single one of you. Much love. And we're just getting started. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you wanting to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my mastermind course. My email is in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So, I wanted to start out with this, which is today's date numerology of 15, and I think that's pretty important because we've been using Gematria Numerology and Astrology on this channel since day one, and we've been seeing how this number 15 is very important. I will be doing more a breakdown on individual numbers as we go throughout the year, just like I did on number 24 last week, with the number 24 significance being everywhere we looked. But just to start today with this 15, and we are getting the 15 a couple days before the full moon. We've been talking about the full moon and the moon cycles on this channel for a couple months now. Every time we have a new moon, it's typically bullish energy surrounding that time frame, and every time we have a full moon, it's bearish energy surrounding that time frame. And of course, on the date 15 numerology, we see XRP come down to 51 cents. Everything is as above, so below. So this 15 number has played itself out quite nicely with XRP because in the 14th and 15th week of the year was when we saw that massive breakout all the way from around where we're trading at now, upwards of $1.96. Back here when we were making those videos discussing the prediction for this breakout, which we got to the exact day using Gematria, I told everyone I would not be surprised if the price returned back to the breakout target to backtest it essentially if we were seeing a lack of support. And I mentioned a couple weeks ago and also last week price targets for XRP between 46 and 55 cents for the bearish scenario, and today was the day. We hit 51 cents, and I do think there is a possibility of as low as 46, but I will be doing my XRP analysis a little bit later in the video. Anyways, if you guys have been watching my videos from start to finish and carefully paying attention and you took action, your patience has been rewarded. I congratulate you. A lot of people were skeptical when they were hearing me bring up a 55 cent XRP to happen again, and well, we see how that went. So I'm going to move on to Bitcoin because I do see something really important in Bitcoin, and it is simply just measuring the current all-time high that we have of around 65,000 downwards of this wick bottom we just got, and what we're seeing is 56%. Now this 56 number is something that I talk about quite often. It has a tie to Bitcoin, but it also has a tie to the Society of Jesus. And we've been discussing how the Jesuits, basically the Cabal, whatever you want to call them, the Brotherhood, the Illuminati, Freemasons, whatever you want to call them, doesn't really matter. But these market makers, or in Wyckoff, it's called comp man, these people manipulate the market using astrology, numerology, and gematria. And that's why we focus on it here on this channel. So we have from top to bottom a 56% pullback. And where that shows up in the gematria is on the ticker BTC. And you're seeing we have that 56, and we're in the 25th week of the year. So on the 25th week of the year, we get a pullback down from top to bottom of the 56. And of course, the all-time high happened on the date of the 14th of April, which if we wrote that numerologically in the international, it would be 144. And that's another number that ties back to the Jesuits and the Society of Jesus. So this is pretty incredible. For those of you that are part of my mastermind course, I was discussing a $63,000 Bitcoin and the significance around the 63 because Bitcoin equals 36 in Gematria, and everything is as above, so below. So I wouldn't even be surprised if over the next couple days, maybe the 27th of June, we hit $27,000 Bitcoin, and that ends up being like the scariest of the scariest. But I do have a reasoning why I believe today might be the actual bottom. So you heard that here first, guys. I'm not saying for altcoins, but I'm saying for Bitcoin. And I'll give you the reason why right here. So I made a live stream a couple weeks ago discussing this 58 number for Bitcoin and how every 58 days we typically get a new bottom. And I showed from back here, this was before the bull run really started going wild, on the 26th of November, over 58 days, and we come into this bottom pullback. So from this bottom right here to this bottom in the structure equals 58 days. Now, if I go from this bottom right here over about 58 days, we went from this bottom right here to this bottom. Now, if I go from this bottom measured over 58 days, we get from this bottom to the current crash we've had. So there's a lot of significance in that. Now, if I go from this bottom over to today, look at that, 58 days. So this 58-day number, if you guys remember, if you've watched my live streams or you've been paying attention to my videos, I've been bringing it up all the time. And that's insane that we got this pullback today on this very day, measured out 58 days from this. And now when this pullback happened from all the way up at around 65,000 down to 47, and then we got this sort of exuberant buyback into a failed higher high. This moment right here, getting the lower high, was pretty indicative of a pullback was ready to come because we already had 1, 2, 3 failures at the top. This is definitely distributional looking if you're using Wyckoff. But I don't really want to get into that now because we're in the present day and we're seeing that from this pullback right here down to this pullback is 58 days. A lot of people probably remember me talking about the full moon in July, and the reason why I was thinking about that was because from this day right here of May 23rd, we measure 58 days out. And we get to July 20th. I believe the full moon in July is on the 23rd. And within, 5 days plus or minus a full moon is typically when we have the micro cycle highs or lows. So that means around 5 days or so around a new moon, we see a micro cycle high. And around 5 days around a full moon, we see a micro cycle low. Not a new lower low, not a new higher high, just in the cycle. And I'll show you guys that really quickly just to kind of give you some understanding of what I'm talking about. If you're new here to this channel and you're trying to see what we're talking about, we have this moon cycles indicator. I've altered it a little bit to work in the way that I think makes the most sense, which is essentially after a new moon, the chart changes green and it goes green into the new moon, and around new moons we get microcycle highs, and then after that we have that red bearish energy that moves into a full moon. Now, we have a full moon in 2 days, but we also had a lot of other things going on lately. We had 2 days ago was the solstice leading into the longest day, and that is where we have all the ritual around the transition to the summer with midsummer, the pagans, and these people are definitely part of the brotherhood. I'm not talking about your local like witches and warlocks. I'm talking about high level Illuminati royal, like 13 royal bloodline people. They do everything around these ritual dates. So of course you have sell in May, walk away. We saw that happen again, and that's, it's just kind of the way it goes. These people are dancing around the maypole. Just remember I said that. So anyways, we have this moon cycles indicator. It's working out perfectly every single time. We didn't get as bullish as we thought we would get around this new moon recently, but we did actually make a higher high in the structure. So at the end of the day, it still worked out perfectly. This is sort of a trader's world, not a hodler's world. We're past the point of feeling good as a hodler. So right now, if you're someone who's very scared and you're uncertain and you just don't know what to do, you need to do a couple things, okay? Remember I said this. First and foremost, you want to practice and study. You want to be able to focus on your education. So throughout your education, you're investing in your education and you're going to focus on practicing whatever it is that you're studying about this market. But please understand that we are far away from seeing new highs in this market. This market isn't just going to V-shape recovery out of here. And it's also not, in my opinion, going to continue to tank to the ground from here. Where we came back to today on the exact day that this happened was so ritual. And I hope that I've proved such. And if I hold my cursor right here, you can just look back to around this 22nd of January, and you were seeing the same thing, coincidentally on the 22nd of June. Okay, that's exactly 6 months ago. So anyways, the point being is that this market is heavily manipulated. We're seeing right now that we've moved bearish into the full moon. That's textbook. We're 58 days away from a recent low in the structure. All of this is telling me that we are ready for a relief rally. So we're going to get a little bit into this idea of what that means and where my targets are. But for the most part, I just want everyone to be patient for now. We need to kind of chill for the next couple of days because, again, on the date of the full moon, the 24th, it'll be the 174th day. That 174 number is important because it comes back to our homies, the New World Order. Also, I believe on the 27th, we're going to be the 177th day of the year. That 27 number is really important because it comes back to Jupiter in the Chaldean cipher. Jupiter is really important. And I do believe this Saturn figure is also quite important. And let's just do a quick exercise, okay? So we have today would be 6 plus 22 for the 22nd day of June, the 6th month, plus 20 plus 21. Sorry, lost my train of thought. And we get that big old 69, just like Saturn. Now, it's a Tuesday, so we're not in the day of Saturn, but this number is definitely critical. It's also the logo of, it's a zodiac logo. And I've showed you before how like the Jupiter zodiac logo is a 24. So that was discussed all last week. So if you guys want to recap on that, go back and watch last week's videos. I have a video called The Number 24 Decoded. So for now, it's about patience, and I have proven to you now that Bitcoin moves this market. I had so many people back when my channel was starting, and I was telling them when Bitcoin does this move, expect everything else to follow and be substantially more beaten down. Okay, now we're seeing actually where Bitcoin is prevailing because dominance is hiking to the upside. So you can see things where Bitcoin is up 2%, but Ethereum's only up 1%. Of course, we have outliers, right? We have outliers because that's just how it all works. But for the most part, when Bitcoin has a really big heavy sell-off, it could make a lot of these altcoins sell off significantly. And the altcoins don't have the type of support Bitcoin has. Bitcoin has a lot of support. A lot of these altcoins broke out, went in a straight line parabolic breakout, and they built zero support. So when I was discussing this idea of XRP coming right back down to the mid 50s, and it was hurting people's feelings because they're in a cult, you need to dislocate yourself from the cult, educate yourself on the market, become an analyst of the market, start getting into this type of TA, because once you could wrap your mind around it, you can leave the news and the theater and all the shit with the SEC, you could leave that on the sidelines and you could become a sophisticated investor who's not sitting there sweaty lettuce hands when you see the prices go down. Because today was probably a textbook day for retail to sell their bags, and we can see that once the price got, I mean, Bitcoin was literally at 28,000 and now it's at 32,300, and it's a green day across the board, up 2%. Like, come on. They love fucking with retail, and this is why the New World Order always wins. They're not robbing anyone blind, you're just giving them your wealth. Now, I'm not talking to you guys, because I know the people who are attracted to my channel, the people who've been sticking around, my supporters, you guys get it. You're wolves. You're not bears or bulls or pigs. So let's move on to the XRP analysis. Got some interesting things to discuss there. Of course, we have what we started out this video with, which was the 15-date numerology and XRP coming down to that 51-cent price. Let's bring up some of our fibs. We could have some important things to talk about. It's not as important to discuss the moon phases, but we do have some things to discuss in regards to what I think is the bottom for XRP. So I'll put my neck on the line right now and say that. If it's not 46 cents, it is right now today, 51 cents. And I believe that that 51 and 15 connection is super important. I learned that and I started believing in that heavily once we broke out around here, because I was seeing the 15s everywhere, especially when it comes down to a reduction of date numerology. Might be a little bit complicated, but we'll just figure that out later. The point being is that what I believe this is what's called a selling climax using Wyckoff. And now XRP loves to do this shit right here, where it sells off, kind of pump fakes you, and then has a significantly lower low and then recovers. That is such a normal thing for XRP. It's why I've been bringing it up as a possibility. And in the red pill episode I did a couple days ago, I was extremely cautious because everything about that weekly close that we got, and it was a bi-weekly close as well, so a 2-week candle. When I saw the way that whole structure looked, I knew that we were coming lower. So really glad that I let everyone know over on the Mastermind community about that. Now, we're about 74% from the current yearly high on the pullback. Yep, 74%. Now, that is indicative of what I call a full retrace. So whenever something gets about 70 to 80% sold from the highs, that's a full retrace. Of course, with some of the lower cap altcoins, it could be 95%. It could be really, really extreme. So that full retrace concept, followed by the fact that we're way oversold on the RS, well, not way oversold, but this is pretty damn oversold. This is matching the SEC sell-off. Okay, we're about 28 on the RSI, I believe. Let me just pull that up to be accurate. 29 on the RSI. Jeez. So we're definitely oversold, right? And now these are sort of the territories where you see XRP have a very exuberant buyback. So I would not be surprised. Now, I do have my prediction video that I made a couple videos back where I was discussing bullish energy into the new moon. And also because we are going to be approaching the 27th week of the year. Now, in the Chaldean cipher, we have with Ripple that 27, and I believe that that's when we're going to see that move to the upside. So I'll break down fully just a recap of what that would be. In Wyckoff, we have our buying climax, then we have supply tests to the upside which fail, then we have our selling climax right here. Then after the selling climax, we have what would be an automatic rally. Now this automatic rally would be above the previous level right here of early June, which would be a break above $1.10. So I do see us breaking above $1.10 leading into the beginning of July. Then I do see resistance coming in at the 0.5 fib. That would be the perfect automatic rally, AR, using Wyckoff. So basically a recovery that looks something like this. Let's just put the 7th right here. I'm going to draw an X. So it could be something literally as ridiculous as this. Boom, get a little resistance, and then we see how that plays, and maybe some sort of structure like this back to the 236. This is kind of what I see happening. So my prediction video was bringing up this idea of going as high as $1.40, maybe even a little higher, and the $1.40 idea is because of the golden pocket. We could go higher, but this is like classic bull trap concept. So I'm not giving my end of the year prediction, I'm giving my short-term prediction in that recent video. This is kind of how I see it playing out, and this would be pretty classic after you have an extremely oversold market. Now, because we still have the full moon in 2 days and we can definitely see more bearish energy between now and the end of the month, I would not be surprised if we did maybe come down for another wick to the downside. Anything is possible in this matrix, and it is very important that you all understand that I am an analyst of the market. I am somebody who's just looking at the charts and providing you with my best information possible, but we all know there's downside. There's upside and downside. So this isn't about being perfect. It's about doing our best to develop a compass to navigate this market the best way we possibly can. When a lot of fear enters the market, and we've been bearish for over 30 something days now, this is typically about the time where we anticipate a relief rally. The more sophisticated investor in this space knows that, okay, this is getting a little bit too fearful. I believe the fear and greed index is about a 10 read last night. So imagine what it could be today. Holy shit. It could be rock bottom lows. Some of the lowest that we've seen basically since like a bear market or the C word crash. So anyways, we need to kind of just be patient at this time. Don't be a bull, don't be a bear, be a wolf. Follow the moon. And with that being said, those of you that want to join the Patreon, be www.patreon.com/watersabove. Anyone who's interested in learning my strategies and techniques of technical analysis and combining it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. And I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.